Yes. Good morning, students. Today we will start our next section, practical section of geography, and the chapter number 1 is data, sources and compilation. Before we proceeding towards the sheets making, you have to understand why we are using these quantitative techniques in geography, right? So first of all, we must know that what is data and what are its main sources and how can we compile the data, right? Because every sheet we will do it in our next lectures. So every sheet is depend upon the data, right? So first of all, we have to know that what is data. What is data? Data are defined as the numbers which represents measurements. These represents measurement Some of the measurements are represented by the data from the real world. It can be any type of data. What is the height of Mount Everest, right? Distance of Delhi from Karnal, right? Any type of measurement. When we measured it, like this is about 8,850 kilometer, right? 50 meters, sorry, not kilometer. 8,850 meter. Suppose the distance between the canal and New Delhi is 200 kilometer. So this is called data, which is the measurement of the distance of Delhi from Karnal, which is the measurement of Mount Everest height, and this will be called data. So any measurement from the real world is known as data, right? First of all, beta, you have to make a project file related to this chapter. Which topics I will cover in this chapter, you have to make a project file and you have to write all these topic in project file. Like you have make the project file in your 9th standard, 10th standard, 11th standard, different types of page, spiral binding is there, all that. So like this, you have to make a project file from the chapter number 1, and the topic which we will cover in it, you have to mention in that project file, right? So first of all, the first topic is data. What do we mean by data? Data are defined as the numbers which represent measurements from the real world, right? Because geography is deal with a lot of distribution, lot of physical phenomena, spatial phenomena, temporal distribution is there. So we have to deal with all these phenomena, and these are on the basis of data. So we have to make some measurements, because if we are talking about the distribution of anything, then we have to know how much land or how much total quantity is there, and among these total quantities, how much every country or every region will get, right? So we have to make some measurement from the real world, that is called data. Second topic is, why do we need data in geography? Why do we need data in geography? Basically, geography is the study of human and its physical environment, right? So we studied about man and its environment in geography, right? So it is related to the spatial phenomena and temporal phenomena as well as. Right. So when we studied about man and its environment, then we have to go through with the data. Why? Because we have to make some differences. Different phenomena are there. Due to different phenomena, suppose in India, northern part have a suitable climate for the agriculture. That's why there is a great production of wheat and rice. While in the southern part of India, there is a climate of another type and the spices are the main crops of that area. So when we talked about the rice distribution, right, cropping, if we are talking about the rice cropping and the distribution throughout the country, India or throughout the world, then we have to collect the data about the rice production in different area, right? And before it, we have to collect the data of total cropping land. How much land is cropped in the rice production, in the rice crop, right? So how much land is involved in the rice cropping and how much is the total production of the rice among in this, how much every state or every country is getting now. So when we interact with our physical environment, we go through with the three questions. Have you remembered the three questions? Why, where, and what? Right. So where question can be answered by the data collecting by different regions. If we are talking about the irrigation, then we will measure the total irrigated area and how much will be irrigated by the wells, how much will be irrigated by the canals, and how much will be irrigated by the rivers, like that. So we need data to make the proper distribution of any things or to make the differences between the countries, between the states, right? So third point comes to data is presentation of the data. Presentation of the data. As I gave you the example of irrigation. Irrigation, right? Suppose we are talking about the irrigation facilities in India. First of all, we will measure the irrigated land. Total irrigated land. How much it is, right? Irrigated land, how much area is irrigated by river? Then we will make the categories of this irrigated land. How much irrigated by rivers? How much irrigated by wells? How much irrigated by canals? How much irrigated by tube wells? All modes of irrigation, right? So when we collect the data, then we make it. We make, suppose this is 6,000 hectare. This is 3,000 hectare. 150, 500 hectare, right? 2,000 hectare, and the rest is 500 hectare. Right? We make this data. After that, we will collect the data in which areas the river is the most important irrigation method, right? So when we are collecting the data, it is very roughly. We cannot conclude anything without making any table. So we have to make a table to achieve our objective. What is our objective? According to that, we will make the table, right? So first of all, the rough data, the raw data, The raw data is the initial data which we collect, right? So first of all, the raw data is converted into the table according to our objective. If our objective is only the mode of irrigation, then we will make the table like this, right? So first of all, we will make the table that is called tabulation. Suppose there are 60 students in your class, right? And I have make a raw data of your marks in each and every subject, right? So it is a very rough data where all the 5 subjects marks are there, but I cannot conclude anything by the raw data. So if I want to make the difference between the students or the highest and lowest percentage, I have to make your data into a table form. Then I will make a table according to the percentage of each and every student. Then I will calculate, or I will conclude how much students, how many students are greater than 50% or less than 50%, like that, right? So according to our objective, first of all, the raw data is converted into the table form, which is called tabulation. After tabulation, there is an organization. We organize the data according to our aim, right? So first of all, if I make this data, then I will organize it in ascending or descending order, correct? According to our objectives, first of all आ जाएगा river, second is canals, third is well and tube well, correct? I make it in descending order. That is organization of data to achieve the aim. The third is ordering. Ordering is also same, that is ascending or descending ordering. And last is analysis. Analysis what I want to calculate from this data. Average irrigated land or total irrigated land, whatever I want, right? So lastly, we use some quantitative techniques to achieve the or to make the analysis. Yes, to achieve the aim or make the analysis. So the next is order and last is analysis. When we collect the raw data, we convert it into a table form. Then we organize the data in first of the name of mode of irrigation, then the land in hectare, like this. Organize. Then if there is a need, we will convert the data in ascending and descending order. After that, we make analysis. We will calculate the data according to our objective. So this is the presentation of data in different 4 steps. First is tabular. Second is organized. Third is order. Fourth is analysis. And to make the presentation of data, we use some quantitative techniques. We will use some quantitative techniques as well as some qualitative techniques also. Okay, in the next chapters, we will learn what are these quantitative techniques. Clear? So this is the data. Now come to the main important question regarding data, that is the sources of data. Sources of data. Sources of data means from where we collect the data. By how many types, how many methods we can collect the data. So there are basically 2 sources of data. First is primary sources. Second is secondary sources. Right? primary sources, as its name suggesting, primary sources which are collecting first time, right? So this type of data is collecting by the geographer directly from the field. So it is collecting directly from the field, right? Secondary means this data is already used by someone else. So this is indirectly collected data. Secondary data are those data which geographer use the already published data, already existing data is used by the geographer. That is called secondary data. For example, primary data like census. Census held after every 10 years, right? When the census is held, the government officers came to our houses, right? They ask some questions about our family, like how many family members are there in our family, uh, how many males, how many females, what is the education status of each member of the family, what is the age of every member, how many children are there, and what is the education status of every children, what is the occupation of the family, means head of the family, wife, or every adult person, right? So in these type of, and income also, right? So all these questions are asked by the government to us by in the census. In this mode, the men came to our house and asked the questions to us directly. They are not using any data in the record of government books. They are coming to us, they are asking to us directly about our family, and according to that data they make census, they make different purposes, they use this data for different purposes, like the chapter we already covered, the literacy rate, occupational structure, right, health status, income, males and female sex ratio. By one data, by collecting one data about the families, they can create lot of information, different in departmental information through this data, right? So this is a tabular form or organizing collect. So यहाँ क्या हुआ कि they are directly collected the data from the field. Field is not related to the agriculture farm. Field is when we go to the open area to collect the data, whether it is a house, whether it is a farm, or any building. Second, indirectly collected data when already existing data is used. Like in our next chapter, we will make the graph, and to make this graph, we will use the data published in our book. So we are not collecting the data directly. We are using the data already published in the book. So that will be called secondary data. Clear? Now there are different sources of primary data. So it is, first is personal observation. Personal observation. Second is interview. And third is questionnaire or scheduled method. Questionnaire or scheduled method. And fourth is schedule. Now what are these these methods. By these 4 types or for these methods, we can collect the primary data. First is personal observation. Personal observation, similar to the example I gave you, the census. When we go to the field, observe the things by ourselves and collect the data. Like in the previous example, I gave you the total irrigated land. The person came to the go to the fields, agriculture field, and then he or she will see how much land is irrigated naturally and by any irrigation method. So this will be called personal observation. Second is interview. Interview is like when a person came to the another person and he have to make a proper list of his question, right? So there are some precautions one individual have to follow during the interview. First, because the time is very precious for everyone, so an individual make sure that a less use of time. So he have to prepare a list of his questions before conducting the interview. Second, the questions must be in easiest way, so that the person could understand every question and can answer the question very easily. Third, the language used in the interviews should be according to the person. Fourth, first of all, when we go to the person who is unaware about us, who don't know us, then we have to make sure about ourselves to him. We have to make some confidence about us, like showing our I-card. We are coming from the government census areas or department. So all that. So that the person will give you the information confidently, right? So all these precautions must be care on by the individual. Third is, here there is a list. We will ask the question, the person will give the answer, and the member will write down it on its notebook or performa. Right? Third is questionnaire and schedule. It is already printed material, like your question paper. Right? There is a question paper. First question is there, and there is a option. There are suppose 2 or 3 options. Second question is there, 2 or 3 options. This method is used to preserve the time. Fourth question is there are 3 options. So that the person could read the question. It can be conducted to many families in one time. We have to distribute this paper to everyone. Every member will read the question, and according to him, he will tick the right answer. Right? So this type of method, this type of primary sources uses short time. But there is a disadvantages of this method. What is this? Because if any person is illiterate, who cannot read, who cannot write, how could he or she give the answer to your questions, right? So for the illiterate person, this method is not appropriate, right? So fourth is schedule. Schedule method is similar to the questionnaire method. Same performa is prepared. There are 3 options, but the difference is that in this method, the observer who are asking the question, the observer will tick the option by him or herself. He will read the question, the person give the answer, then observer will tick the option according to his or her answer. The advantage of this method is that any illiterate person also can give the right answer to each and every question, because observer is reading the question and marking the right answer. So these are the methods of primary data. Now, what are the secondary sources data method? First is government publication. Second, semi-quasi publication. Semi-quasi publication, government publication. International publication. International publication. Fourth is private publications. Fifth is newspaper and magazines. And the last is electronic media. These are the some of the indirect sources or the secondary sources. First is government publication. When we use the data of the India's population since 1901 to 2001, we are using the already government publishing data, because government of India held the census, collect the data, and after that it will publish the data about the population of India. And when we use this data to make a graph or for any other purposes, then it is known as government publication, like irrigated areas, total cropped area, the matter which is concerned to the country. The data is collected by the government, and government publish the data, and the rest of the organizations and any other person will use this data. Second is the semi-quasi government. Semi-quasi government is means urban development authorities, municipal corporation of various static, Jila Parishad, all these department publish their data about the land revenues, about the irrigated land, about the barren land, forested area. All these are recorded by the Patwaris or the land revenue department. And when we use this data for any another purpose, that is called semi-quasi government publication. Third is international publication, like WTO reports, right? WHO reports. They publish the data about the export and import of different countries, right, every year. WTO, World Trade Organization. When we use this data in our 8th chapter of part A, we will use this data. How much trade will between the countries of different commodities. So that will be known as international publication. Next is private publication. Private publication, like private or individual persons already, they also publish the data about their industries or anything, like Tata Automobiles, Tata Motors, Tata Private Limited. Every year they publish the data of their industries, growth, about the growth rate, about the wages, all that. So that will be used for another purposes, that is called private publication. Similarly, many datas or many more datas are published in newspaper and magazines, which are also used to make another things to for another purposes. That is called newspaper and magazines publish data. Similarly, TV or all these electronic media also presents the data. Like in the cricket match, there is a graph and there is a table also about the scores or previous scores, highest scores, all these. So these can be used to make the graphs or other things. That is called electronic media, the data which is published by the electronic media. These are the some other sources of secondary data, by which methods we can use, we can collect the secondary data. Now, if you have any confusion regarding this, you can ask. Students, if you have any confusion about this, you can ask. You have to write all these topics in your project file. You have to explain all these methods of primary and secondary data also. Along with this, you can paste the pictures also. Government publication, semi-quasi publication, interview method, schedule method. How can we design the schedule method? All this. Yes, Muskan, Alka, Pramod sir, allow them.
Excuse me, ma'am.
हाँ बेटा.
Ma'am, what is the difference between questionnative and schedule?
Questionnaire method. In this method, the observer gives a performer in which the questions are there and their options are there, right? So the person have to read the question and according to him, he or she have to write the answer. For this purpose, there is a necessary thing, that is education. The person must be literate. But in the schedule method, the chart will be prepared, already prepared, like the questionnaire method. But in this method, the observer will ask the question and whatever you give the answer, he will mark himself, right? So an illiterate person also can fill this performer. आया समझ? यहाँ जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है वो सिर्फ आपको पेपर दे देगा, जैसे कि हम एग्जामिनेशन कंडक्ट करते हैं, राइट? यू हैव टू टिक योर राइट आंसर. बट इसमें क्या है कि क्वेश्चन जो पूछ रहा है, जो पर्सन आपके पास आया है वही क्वेश्चन पूछेगा और वही आपका आंसर मार्क करेगा. ठीक है? तो यहाँ